this is a little bit out of our wheelhouse, but I've just kind of been, of course, the very minute I go live, my phone starts. Sorry about that. Okay. So, hey, Kathy R., how are you doing today? Okay, so I have been watching this. I mean, this is a slow moving, unfolding train wreck. And I am referring to young Harry. Now, we've watched as Harry has fallen in love with the scandalous American actress, and that they just want to live a happy, normal, private life as private citizens, that Harry lives in deep fear, perhaps even PTSD, related to the horrific nightmare of his mother's death, and the implication that the journalists, the photographers, that the swarm of, lascivious bees snapping their pictures and videos is what actually drove Princess Diana to her death. There seems to be very little acceptance from Harry that the driver was acting erratically, that they were driving in a dramatically unsafe manner, that he had drinks and medication before driving, that he was driving in such a dangerous way that the bodyguard actually put his seatbelt on just as they were going into the overpass area, the tunnel. but for whatever way, because people that are traumatized, their brains focus on sometimes quite obscure details. Harry's trauma seems to come out toward privacy. Privacy. That is his thing. You can watch this video of he and Meghan go drive. They're in their Suburban. They're driving through the streets of Los Angeles. She's happy. She's smiling and relaxed. She's turning around looking at the people that are following them, and she's smiling. I mean, she's a peacock. She sees a camera and she suddenly grows 5-6 inches tall, spreads her feathers, and flashes her dramatic smile and says, "Oh, look, this is proof I am better than everyone else." Okay, so she's a peacock. This is her environment. This is what makes her shine. This is Harry's core trauma. This is the nightmare of Harry's childhood. He firmly believes that it was the photographers, the paparazzi, that were responsible for killing his mother. And so as he's sitting in this Suburban, you're watching him have a panic attack, is what it amounts to. I don't see a lot of anger. I don't see a lot of control issues there. It looks like panic to me. It looks like, oh my God, is this going to be, am I next? Is this about to happen? Now, does he really think, in the secrecy of his inner mind, does he really believe it was paparazzi, or does he believe it was a setup that someone from the palace wanted his mother dead? You don't know. People's minds have a way of running away with them during these moments of panic and anxiety. And so perhaps that is why you see him almost looking like he's having a panic attack. Definitely not enjoyable. And it's such a shocking contrast as Meghan sits beside him, preening her beautiful feathers, right? So that brings us up to today. So Harry he is a part of a lawsuit in England along with Elton John and some other rather notable people. And they are suing this news consortium, this news group of newspapers and media outlets, because they believe that their phones were hacked, and that is how they came up with a lot of their dirt that they were reporting on. Now, the Prince William was also, I think, I don't know that he was part of this lawsuit, but he had a very similar lawsuit. He ultimately settled it. I think they promised to play nice and not do underhanded, sneaky things like that again. He got a couple of $1 million settlement and a promise, and then he took his settlement money and donated to Invictus Games, which was Harry's charity. So William handled it in a very kingly fashion, right? He did very well, managed the whole thing, so it was no scuttlebutt, everything was well. But Harry took a firm stand. He seems to have in his mind this idea that he is his mother's victor, that he and his mother are traveling parallel paths, and that the challenges that she experienced, the injustices that were visited upon her by Charles and the other royals, that now they have transferred that onto Harry. And so Harry takes up the mantle as the scapegoat, and that his father, Charles, and others in the family have treated him badly, that Camilla is an evil witch, and, the whole story. So he's acting out in a way that is quite, it's a little bit uncomfortable. He tells a story of Meghan. I don't know, the whole thing's strange, but we're not the uber rich and famous, are we? I mean, we're not even really YouTube famous. But these people, Harry, there's only a handful of people in the whole history of the world that are Harry. I mean, there's Harry, there's Andrew, there's some of Queen Elizabeth's brothers, and Princess Anne, I think, has been, quite dignified, professional. But really, Harry is an enigma. It's just not very many people like him that had the experience of being raised as a prince, as a potential heir to the throne of England. And indeed, he was in line for the throne right up until the moment that Kate had her first baby. And at that point, then, he gets knocked back. So each successive baby that William has, Harry's further and further down on that ladder. So at this point now, Harry's essentially persona non grata, both with the people of England and now from his own doing, his actual family. But I think that's another part of, look, one of this is going to be weird for y'all to make this leap, but we're talking about a guy who's really kind of lost his identity. And it's a parallel to, let's say, men or women who have been in a long marriage, and they are shocked, legitimately surprised to find out that their spouse not only had an affair, but has been, essentially living a double life for the last 5-10 years. It literally changes someone's identity. They don't know who they are, and it blows everything up. It is a terrible thing to watch someone experience. So Harry's, he's lost he was traumatized by the loss of his mother in such a public and horrific manner after the domestic abuse, I think, the domestic abuse that she and the boys were subjected to by Charles, as he acted out, his trauma with Camilla, followed up by the death of his mother, followed up by then um, his boyhood drinking and uh, acting out in a way that is not uncommon for 20-year-old guys to do. They do get drunk. They do stupid things like putting on blackface or what. They do those stupid things. Justin Trudeau was caught with a picture of him in college where he was dressed in blackface. So Harry was doing these things that any other kid in the world would be inclined to do. Hopefully they don't. Hopefully they have better sense, make better decisions. But for whatever reason, he's developed a drinking problem. He's grieving. He doesn't know how to manage his station in life. And now, he's no longer on equal footing with William. William now becomes heir to the throne of England, and he is nobody. He's done now. He's finished. So he's struggling. He's looking for identity. And I think if you follow through his story, in the past 7 years, all that he's experienced, one of the first steps that he made with this whole Meghan meltdown is he was a working royal. He wanted a place. He didn't want to be the spare. He wanted there to be a job. And Princess Anne, the Queen Elizabeth's sister, Princess Anne always had a job. She and her sister, the Queen, were very good friends. They liked each other. They loved each other. They traveled together. They lived together. They were very good friends. And she was given dignified work in the royal household. Well, Andrew kind of messed a lot of that up by his escapades and crimes against humanity. But I think legitimately, I think Harry really wanted to do it right. I think he and Princess Anne actually are said to be very, very close, that they were really, really good friends. It was also said that Harry was the Queen's favorite, that they were buddies, not this formal kind of work arrangement. So this does ring true to me when you look at Queen Anne. You see how close Harry was to Queen Anne. It does seem like he was trying to fashion himself a role in the political business end of the monarchy, that he wanted a dignified role, that he wanted to be a working royal that was actually needed and necessary and making a contribution. And he was well on his way with that. One of the things was the Invictus Games. That was an important thing for him. He and Kate and William were really good friends. They lived near to one another. They had fun together. Kate and Harry were said to be really the best of friends. A lot of times when William was not available, it would be Harry, going with Kate and doing her thing. So along comes Meghan. Along came a spider who sat down beside her, right? So Meghan comes in like a little spider, and she's waiting to do her magic. Now, I don't think, not for a moment, that Meghan came in and said, I shall take down the monarchy. No. She remember, she is a person who is living in a Academy Award winning drama. That's how she sees herself. She doesn't see herself as a real person. She's an actor pretending to be a real person. And so here she is, finds herself, getting married. The King of England, or the future King of England, is walking her down the aisle. Oh yeah, don't think her delusions were not on absolute full go. And so she believes she's in this movie, and she's married her prince. And now what happens next? Well, what happens next is you're a person, you're a human being, and you just live your life. You just try to do the best you can. You try to keep your house clean. You try to make time to go have fun with people. You try to get along with your husband. You get pregnant, you get fat, you get sick, you have your babies. Then you throw your hair up in a messy bun and wear sweatsuits for a year. That's what you do. It doesn't matter that he is a prince of England. His favorite place in the whole wide world to be is in the Congo. The man does not want to be a royal. He doesn't want to be up there being adorned in feathers and gold. He wants meaning. He wants there to be some dignity, right? But I think that Meghan wanted to be adorned in feathers and fur. I think that is what she was looking for. And I think that when the reality set in, oh my gosh, we're living in a regular house. And now I don't have any privacy because these people are around all the time. And now I don't want them to know that I don't feel like, keeping my house clean. I don't want them telling people that I'm, laying around till 2 a.m. drinking a bottle of wine every night. The crossroads of the two worlds and their different demands and luxuries suddenly slap her full force in the face. Trust me on this one. You guys don't realize what a luxury privacy truly is. I had this moment this morning. I woke up a bit early. It's the first day I've really felt like myself in the past 3 weeks. And I woke up and the sun was just beginning to come up. And it had been a long time since I had gone and sat out on the porch and watched the sun come up. And so I went out, sat down. It was very quiet. The water was very still. And slowly, the world starts waking up. You first notice a few birds, coming and whatnot. And as I'm sitting there and I'm looking around, there's no boats. There's birds out there. There's no cars moving. There's no house, no people. And I suddenly had this realization, I'm literally right now the only person as far as my eyes can see. Literally. And it was such an intense feeling of safety and relaxation. And I thought, this compared to like living in, let's say, downtown Houston, where you've literally got 15, 20, 30 people stacked on top of each other, that there is luxury in privacy, right? I'm just sitting out there on my porch, just taking in what is like a, National Geographic, spread. And I'm just sitting out there in my gown, just relaxed, and the wind's blowing, and I cannot hear another person, can't hear any kind of electronics. It's just me, and then all these beautiful birds waking up and coming to life. And so, when I was in Egypt, they had these enormous houses that we lived in. We weren't buying the houses. The company was doing it, giving us to us. But like 3 and 4 story, villas. And then the house would come with a couple of cooks. There'd be a couple of people that would clean and keep the upkeep. You had a guy that sat out by the gate to let you in and out, to stop people from coming into the gate. You had the gardener, you had the driver. And so, in the beginning, it was like, oh, I can play on my delusions and I can pretend to be all something, and this is going to be so fun. And I can make it about 3 weeks. And I'm like, this is weird. This is very strange to be in my own house and to have strangers here. Only one of them even spoke English. And so it was quite often, in fact, I got in trouble by the property management people at the company. I got in trouble because I kept sending them home. I would tell them, oh, no, we're fine. I won't need you tomorrow. Everything is beautiful. It's all clean and pretty, and we're going to go out to eat. And so everybody just stay home and take a day of vacation. And they would panic because they would think, well, are you going to tell the company that we didn't work? And then I realized, well, if they don't come, then they don't get paid. And so then I'd say, oh, no, I want you to get paid. So then they would come in and they would stay an hour or two. And then I would say, oh, y'all have done such a great job. Y'all go ahead and take the day off. Here's some money. Go get some coffee. Y'all enjoy your day. And then I would try to send them on their way, needing to have some privacy. Correct? So privacy is probably one of the most valuable luxuries for me specifically. And if you've never been denied your privacy, you simply can't value it to the level that it probably needs to be valued. Even being able to get in your car and drive by yourself is a huge moment of mental health safety. With drivers, I couldn't even go get in my car and take a drive. I was literally surrounded by people all the time unless I told them to go away. So anyway, so with Harry, that's kind of, I think, his core trauma. I think what happened with his mom, it directed him to focus on the paparazzi, the media. They are the enemy for him. He thrives on his privacy. His mother, there's an iconic picture, a little video clip in my head where they are in Aspen, Diana and the two boys. They're in Aspen, and I think Beatrice and Eugenia were with them as well. But they're in Aspen, they're skiing, and on the slopes, there's restaurants where you can go sit at picnic tables that are like out, in the snow. So they've got these big heaters set up and everything. It's comfortable because you're dressed to be skiing, so you're warm. But anyway, so they're sitting out, they're trying to ski, and there's somebody filming them, taking photographs. And Diana gets up. She walks right past her security. You can see that she's very upset and angry. And she goes up to them and she's just pleading with them, please give us privacy. I've given y'all time for pictures this morning. I'm happy to give you time again later on today. I'll meet with you prearranged times. But please let my boys play. Please let my boys just be boys. And she's pleading with them and they just won't stop, right? So Harry's exposed to this all the time. I'm sure he heard his mother ranting and raving, and he's sort of taken up that mantle. And I'll never forget the story that he told where he said that Megan was pregnant again, and she had taken like 5 or 6 different pregnancy tests. So she had all these pee sticks that were showing positive, and she lines them up. This is so bizarre. This is like the uber wealthy weirdness that we don't get that. I can't think of this. But she takes these 5 or 6 pee sticks that are all showing positive pregnancy. She lines them up in front of Harry's photograph of Diana. Like he's got her portrait up, right? And lines these pee steps up in front. And that's how she tells Harry, hey, we're going to have another baby. Now, Harry's telling this story. It is cringy. It's crazy. It's weird. So he tells this story where he comes in, he sees the pee sticks, and he says that he looks at the image of his mother in the picture, and he says, and I quote, "Thank you, Mummy." What? Harry, snap out of it, buddy. Your mom didn't have anything to do with Megan being pregnant. Stop. And let me take a moment to directly address Megan. Megan, girl, how manipulative was that? Why would you take pee sticks and put in front of Diana as if it were Diana telling Harry that you are pregnant? That wouldn't even happen even if Princess Diana was alive today. It's manipulative and nuts. If you think that is crazy, that she lined up these sticks in front of Diana's countenance, if you think it's crazy, put a 1. If you think, no, everybody does reveals in a different way, it's okay, put a 2. Just curious. I'm just curious if I'm looking at this wrong. Yeah. So me in Tennessee, we girls in the South, if you pee on a stick, it belongs in a trash can. Am I right? Do y'all agree? You don't save them and then go lay them out in front of, on a table in front of somebody's foot. It's just weird. It's odd. The thought process is odd, and it is as manipulative a ploy as anything I've ever heard of, ever. Harry's core trauma is the loss of his mother. This is our proof that Meghan is intentionally messing with Harry's head. Am I right or wrong? So all that being said, Harry's got this lawsuit going on. I mean, this deal with Meghan, he has blown up his life. He was loved and well respected in the royal family. He and Princess Anne were the best of friends. He was one of the few people that could just walk into the living quarters of the Queen and say, hey, Graham, how are you doing? Other people couldn't do that, including Charles. But Harry could go right in. Nobody would even bat an eye. Okay? So he's blown it all up. He's destroyed it all. And I firmly believe that it was done because Meghan she was manipulative, and the tool that she used was his love for Diana and the trauma coming from Diana's death. I believe that in my heart. Now then, fast forward to 2023. So they have this big case going on in England where Harry and Elton John and a few others, they have had their phones hacked as a info phishing scheme for the newspapers. And so now they're taking them to court. We did see him a month ago or a couple of weeks ago where he was over there doing some pre-trial hearings and whatnot. Well, guess what? Monday, June the 5th, 2023, it's the big day. Oh dear Prince Harry, I'll meet you in the High Court at 9 a.m. June the 5th, 2023. Guess who's a no-show? This is so typical for people that are dealing with unresolved trauma. They go in full force. They're going to attack it full on. And at the last minute, they drop the ball. That is the trauma. That is the I'm not in control here. Someone else is controlling me problem. So Prince Harry, his big day, the beginning of this big trial that they have been preparing for years, he's in a no-show. It's you can't even wrap your mind around it. It's just absolutely crazy. So the legal team is said to have been scrambling as if they did not know that he wasn't going to be there. They were actively freaking out. And so then the judge comes in. They've all been on phones, making calls, asking, everybody's all abuzz. No Harry, no explanation. No one knows. So the judge comes in. The judge is not a happy camper. The judge is more than a little miffed, as would I be. And so Harry's, one of his attorneys, his name is David Sherborne, he says to the judge, "Sir, dear judge, forgive me. The Duke of Sussex is attending tomorrow's trial to give his evidence. You see, sir, yesterday was Princess Lilibet's special day. June the 4th was Lilibet's 2-year birthday. And Prince Harry, being the noble father that he is, he could not, in good conscience, miss the princess's 2nd birthday. Obviously, Judge, he is in a different category to the other 3 defendants, because Prince Harry must make his own travel arrangements and such. And of course, there's the security details that he must arrange on his own. Judge Sir Timothy Fancourt looked back at Mr. Cherbourg and said, "Poppycock! Dear sir, this is a court of a dignified legal proceeding brought by the young prince." Sir Timothy Fancourt, the judge, was obviously annoyed by Harry's lack of attendance. And the judge went on to say, "Frankly, my dear, I am more than just a little surprised. And that is why I believe that Prince Harry would be in attendance today, and I directed the very first witness be available today. It is a matter for the defendant whether they get an opening speech at all or not. I don't want to spend very much time about it, as it appears there may not be anything to do, since Prince Harry has chosen to attend the birthday party of a toddler." So Harry's in trouble. Right off the bat, day 1, he's in trouble. He is part of a group of British A-listers. They are suing this consortium of associated newspapers, claiming that these tabloids used illegal means like phone hacking to obtain information, and then they published it to the public, things that were never agreed upon to be released. So Andrew Green, who is one of the spokespeople for this consortium of papers, objected to Harry skipping and said that now Harry's absence has weakened his argument. Andrew goes on to say, "Whether I can cross-examine the Duke of Sussex for the day and a half that I want, rather than the day that they are trying to confine me to, the position is that the only witness for the Duke of Sussex is the Duke of Sussex. This is simply extraordinary that he not make himself available day 1 of this trial, Judge, his trial." I mean, this was a big damn deal. These very dignified gentlemen, well, they were miffed. And Harry, David Sherborne said that Harry, listen to this, it's crazy. Harry is expected to make an appearance on Tuesday, June the 6th. They say the evidence I've seen so far shows that the journalists are criminals with journalistic powers, that should concern every single British citizen. The British public deserves to know the full extent of the cover-up, and they feel that it is their duty to expose it. But the Duke of Sussex was unable to present his evidence on time because he stayed in Santa Barbara for the birthday party of a toddler. Harry, my man, damn. Whew. So, this is, look, he's got some really important people mad at him, okay? He has managed to alienate every person that he's ever been close with in his life, including now Meghan. Harry has gotten some divorce attorneys and whatnot. Meghan's going out on the town without him while he stays at home. Who wants to bet that the young prince was not in Montecito, but that he was right there in London and was probably hung over like a big dog? Let's take a vote, shall we? Hey, Kathy from Texas, welcome. Let's take a vote, okay? If you, Elton John is one of them that is on the lawsuit, Kathy. So if you guys think that Harry, in fact, chose to miss the first day where he is the one on the stand giving evidence, okay, he's the witness. If you believe that he did not notify his attorneys, that he did not notify the courts, that he did nothing because it was Lilibet's birthday yesterday, if you believe that, and that was why he missed his court date as a witness, put a 1. If you believe that Harry was laid up in a hotel room, drunker and cooter brown and hung over like a big dog, Kathy from Texas knows what I just said, put a 2. Which one is it? Let's see what say you? What do y'all think? We may need Kathy to interpret what drunker and cooter brown and hung over like a big dog means. He did not notify anybody, Diamond. I don't know that Harry thinks he's above rules, Kathy. Hey, Mimi Lynn. Hey, Vicky. I think Harry was really focused on this lawsuit. I think this is what has been driving him. It's been important to him. This is a strike back against the people that he believes were directly responsible for the death of his mother. I think this was a huge day for him. And I think that he got to England and that Meghan was giving him a dressing down and just chewing his butt out about how dare you miss your daughter's birthday, you're scum of the earth, and that he felt drawn in 2 directions, being a dad to Lilibet, being a son to Diana, and he pulled out his primary coping skill, which is a big old bottle of Jack Daniels, baby. Maybe he got scared, maybe impulsively. That's what I'm thinking it is, Diamond. I think she was probably being very hard on him about missing the birthday, using that as a manipulative tool, and that he messed up. He pulled out his favorite tools for coping, and he got hungover. He may have even been drunk this morning, So stuffed banana. I think that this has been a exercise in futility. I don't believe that Harry he is not going to be able to survive if he does not have at least a minimal support structure around him. He grew up immersed in the royal family. The way that those kids are raised, the way that they're treated, they have no skills of survival out on the streets. None. Meghan is a lady of the streets. I don't mean a prostitute. I mean, she's savvy, street savvy. He is in trouble. This is bad for him. So he's missed the morning testifying, correct? So now what sets in this afternoon as he sobers up and he goes, holy shit, what have I done? Well, then now the self-loathing kicks in, doesn't it? The hate, you're no good, you're worthless, all that starts up. Will he ever be able to make himself get there tomorrow? Hey, Angela Van Erp, I'm with you. That's the way to do it, 100%. In fact, Angela, on more than one occasion, we have moved Christmas Day. We have taken Christmas Eve, and maybe Christmas Eve was the 21st. Maybe Christmas Eve didn't happen until the 29th, and one time it happened on January 2nd or 3rd, when my dad died. No. When you're a healthy human being, you figure out how to make these things work so that everybody gets what they need, even if it doesn't match society's day on the calendar, right? I'm 100% with you. You've got to think about yourself and your family first, and then you can work around all the other stuff. So Harry and Meghan already knew when her birthday was. 100%, Vicky. Absolutely. That's why I don't. No, from the descriptions of the people that were there were a lot of journalists that were in the galley. The attorneys did not know where he was. They seemed shocked. They seemed surprised. Where is he? So yeah, David Sherborne just made up. I think, in my opinion, I feel so sorry for him, Indian Paintbrush. He got this therapist that he's working with. This guy's a kook. I know you're going to go, but wait, he wrote books. I don't care if he wrote books. There's a lot of weird. Adolf Hitler wrote books. Can we just keep it real? You better look at what this man teaches, what his point of view is. That is, nothing about that man has anything to do with living a healthy, productive, sober life. He exploited Harry in exactly the same way that Meghan is exploiting him, and they won't walk away until Harry is completely used up, till he has nothing else to provide them. And Harry's reputation is so badly damaged now, both with his family, the rich power mongers, both with his family as well as with the adoring public. You got to understand something. The British, man, Harry was their favorite grandson. If you were a young lady, Harry was the favorite prince. If you were a guy, Harry was the man's man. Harry was the bomb. He was the bomb. And it's taken, 5-6 years since he met Meghan for him to blow it all up. Blow it up. It is a saddest tale. His country meant everything to him, Kathy. He was at his best. He was healthy. There was no drinking, nothing, none of that stuff's going on when he was in Afghanistan. What does that tell you? Because he had purpose. He had dignity. That is what he was asking Charles. I need purpose. I need dignity. Not Charles, the Queen. And they came up with the Invictus Games as a charity that he could push and do. Just like William had charities. So he felt like he was making a meaningful contribution, that he was serving his country. And then Meghan got married, and Meghan stomped her foot, but I want to be a working royal too. I don't want to be a wife. And Charles said, no, I'm not going to make her a working royal. She's not. She doesn't know anything about us. She doesn't know anything about our way of life. Of course I'm not going to make her a working royal. And Harry could not stand up to Meghan. He should have stood firm and said, I'm sorry. You go out, you make you a life. If you can't live within the confines of what's been established for this family, then, you're going to have to divorce. But this is where I belong. This is my duty. This is where I will be. He couldn't do that. He just could not do that. And now boy, I think Meghan is furious with Harry that he could not force his dad and William to make her a working royal. I think that she hates him, and this is all designed to ruin him. Harry, if you run across this video, go home, man. Go home, apologize to your family, find yourself some kind of work, or go to Africa where you feel so relaxed and healthy. Take a couple of years getting strong again. Give your family time to work through it. Love always comes through if you apologize and then give them time. And within 5 years, you could be right back in there doing your charity, being a working partner with your family members where you really should be. And forget about this debacle, this caricature of a woman in Montecito. Forget it. Toxic, toxic, toxic. Right? Quit drinking, start eating healthy, get your exercise, work on your charities, give yourself purpose and meaning, but apologize for this series of bad decisions that you've done. He left the country within hours of the coronation. I bet she made the travel arrangements. Yeah, and it was said that Charles was shocked when he found out that he was already gone, that he had wanted to meet with him. Oh yeah, no, she is she's just a gold digger. She just wants someone to make her famous. That's all. She has these narcissistic ideas about how special she is, but her substance doesn't match the delusion. Oh yeah, Yvette. I feel really bad for Harry right now. Make no mistake about it. People will take this, him missing the first day of the trial and whatnot. They're going to take this. They're going to rake him over the coals with it, and whatnot. This is the effect of trauma. That a lot of people say, well, I have trauma, I have PTSD, but they don't ever stop to ask themselves, how does it affect me? How does my trauma, if it's unchecked, if it's not treated, how does it influence and interfere with my day-to-day behavior? And one of them is it robs you of your moment. You work hard. You get to that apex, that moment of realization, and then you sabotage yourself. You become your own worst enemy. That is his trauma. He's reacted his trauma now. So today, right now, he's somewhere in some hotel or house filled with self-loathing and hate. Filled with dread and fear. That actually is the dread and fear that he experienced when his mom died. So going from the moment that he learned of his mother's death up to today, it's just been a series of him setting up trauma moments so that he could re-engage with the trauma. And then setting it up and re-engage, and setting it up and re-engage. It's not conscious. It's not like, this is what I'm going to do. It's that at that last moment, when you're just about to go out and perform or do whatever this thing is, whatever goal that you've set, the emotional turmoil of performing, the nervousness of what you're about to do, it triggers those trauma memories. It's too big, and you fall into your safety behaviors at that point. And for him, his safety behaviors have always been drinking and drugs. So I hope that the attorneys found him, because he may be in need of medical care. I feel really bad for him. I wish, instead of looking for the rich and famous, psychiatrist or psychologist, I wish he would, look for substance. He needs to just find a regular psychologist, not someone catering to rich and famous people, so that he can get good ethical, you know, good ethical care where the therapist is using, empirically validated treatment, where the therapist isn't like starstruck by, oh my God, it's a famous person. No, it's a human being. I don't care if it's an accountant sitting in front of you or it's Bill Clinton. Doesn't matter. They're human beings. That's who you're treating, is the human being. So I just felt horrible when I saw this happen, and I just said, every time, man, every time, trauma triggers trauma. It's just never ending circle. It's so sad. It's so sad. So Harry, get yourself up, take a shower, get cleaned up, get all the alcohol and drugs out of your room, completely out. Eat nothing but chicken and salads. Go on a few, runs this afternoon, and get your behind to that court tomorrow morning and recover what you messed up today. You can fix it, but fixing it starts right now today. Don't wallow anymore in your misery. Let it go. It's over. Just get up, get clean, get healthy, open the curtains, let the sun shine in. If there's any there, it's England. You can do this. Call Dr. Ramani, damn it. There you go. All right, everybody. Okay, so that is really the end of my video. I kind of just wanted to talk a little bit about trauma and how it just keeps interfering in our lives if we don't become aware of how it affects us. And this was a really great example. And, if you're a believer, I think old Harry could do with some prayers today. So say a few prayers for him, that he can get himself straightened up tonight and get himself into court in the morning and do what he needs to do. All right. All right. So that is it. And I will see you guys later on tonight. Bye.